Welcome to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. If you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Hey everybody, so today what I want to talk to you about is habits, feelings, and environment. I'll repeat that: habits, feelings, and environment. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Attilio, okay, what does that all have to do with anything? I'm so glad you asked. So we just had a career night, and one of the videos that we like to send out to the people that go to our career night is so from 20 years, both between the two of us, each of us, what is it, over 1,500 transactions plus, maybe 1,600, running a large real estate team, this being our one thing. Do you think we have some credibility, some experience to speak about what it takes to be successful as a real estate agent?
Yes.
Okay,
I would agree.
From that, this is what we've learned. Habits are the key, is one of the keys to, so I'm going to cover those three things: habits, feelings, and in the environment. So habits, and what are habits? Habits are the compound interest of life. And I will share some information that came from a book called Atomic Habits by the author named James Clear. And this is what he found out with our habits. A lot of times we think it's the goals and our motivation to achieve goals, like I want to sell 10 homes every month and I'll be a successful realtor. That's my goal. And what he goes to find out in his research, and you'll know this from personal experience, all of you listening right now, is that if you have a goal, that over time motivation falls away. And here's where I'll make the point. Have you ever known that you needed to do something like go to the gym, clean your house, get something done, and you just didn't feel like doing it and you didn't do it?
All the time.
Yeah, so that waning of the feeling of wanting to do it, that's motivation. Motivation is not going to help you achieve your goals. What he says is this from the book: we don't rise to our goals, but we fall to our habits. Now, going deeper into habits, you need to separate your habits from your feelings. So habits that are defined as key to your success are the habits that you will do whether you feel like it or not.
So what are those habits for you, Attilio, that you will do whether you feel like it or not?
Working out. What about you,
What
Adrienne?
else? Working out, moving my body.
Moving your body. No. No repeats. I said working out. What's yours? You're going to do it whether you feel like it or not.
Personal hygiene.
Personal hygiene. You can brush your teeth. Thank goodness. You brush your teeth every day. But when your habits, and so at Team Lally, we do have a process where we take you through a process where we turn those habits into things that you do on a daily basis, whether you feel like it or not. Number 3, environment, because I did say it, habits, feelings, separating feelings from habits. We do have a process where you turn that habit into something you're going to do whether you feel like it or not. And one of the keys to creating habits that you will do whether you feel like it or not is another quote, or from the research of Atomic Habits from the book by James Clear, is this: positive habits cannot exist in a negative environment. I'll say it again. Positive habits cannot exist in a negative environment. And I'll give you all, our listeners, an example that everyone can relate to, including me, including Adrienne. If you got up this morning, or tomorrow morning you get up and you're like, I am going to eat healthy all day long. I am not going to be eating sugary snacks and munching on junky stuff all day long. However, at your home are junks and snacks all over the place, and your family is not on board with this, and they're eating junks and snacks all day. The probability is that you're going to fall off the bandwagon of not eating those things. You're going to be right back to what everybody else is doing in that household, right? So at Team Lally, we create an environment where we support those habits that are key to you being successful as an agent. Like, for example, we have a morning huddle. Every day at 8:45, we all get on a Zoom, and we talk about different topics throughout the week and different things that we need to do to improve our skill. What's another habit that we do for all of our clients at the beginning of the week, whether we feel like it or not?
Yep. We're reaching out and having a voice-to-voice with our clients.
We do client updates.
Yeah, like what's happened over the past week. There's the strategy of the week going forward.
Yeah.
So, yep, every week we're checking in.
Yeah, and these are things, reaching out and making daily contacts. On our team, it's 100 dials, 10 contacts or 1 appointment. Mm-hmm. Now, the underlying thing that supports this and puts it in writing that says that we are so confident. By the way, why would we be so confident that someone's going to be successful if they're on our team?
Well, if they're following these habits in our, positive environments, that they will have success. We've had plenty of agents that have followed it and been successful. We've had a lot of agents that, when they do what we ask them to do, they have the success that they want.
We have a track record of taking brand new people or existing agents and creating a habits of success and a track record, and we've done it over and over and over. And we put it in writing. How did we put it in writing?
So we have, as part of our position agreement, it's called the 80K guarantee.
No way. Did you say $80,000 guarantee? What's that about?
Yeah, so in your first full year with the team, if you do not make $80,000,
that's a lot of
money.
We
will write you a check for the difference.
Who's going to write a check?
We will, me and you.
What? Mm-hmm. Who approved this? Oh, yeah, I guess we did. Mm-hmm. Anyway, why are we so confident in making and putting it in writing? Because we know that there are 15 things that you need to do. I'm not going to cover them now on the show. You can...
And they're not terrible or hard things to do. They're just what we do in order to have success.
Well...
And that we've got agents that have done half of these things and made twice that amount in their first year.
Here's what we do know. Here's what we do know about success. It's simple, but not easy. Mm-hmm. It's simple, but not easy. Because I'm going to tell you right now, in all areas of your life where you're not a 10, whether it's your fitness, your health, your relationships, your checking account, your finances, your careers, all of those things as a parent, as a spouse, and you're not a 10, it's not a lack of information. You can Google how to be the best spouse, how to be the best parent, how to be the best agent, how to be the best fill in the blank, and you're going to get a lot of resources within a half a second that show up on your computer screen or your phone. Mm-hmm.
So what it is the execution.
That's it.
And you just got to do it. So
knowing is not enough. On our show, what we do is we make sure, not on our show, I mean in the culture of our team with Team Lally, we make sure that you are 100% set up for success. And truly, the only thing that gets in the way between you and success is what?
Yourself. Mm-hmm. So speaking of success, I want to share a recent review from Colin T. So Colin has to say this a fantastic buying experience with Kaylee and Howard.
Yeah.
They were incredibly knowledgeable, responsive, diligent, and an absolute pleasure to work with. I would highly recommend Kaylee, Howard, and Team Lally to anyone looking to buy or sell on Oahu.
Yeah.
Thank you, Colin.
Yep. All right. What I want to share with you, if you're thinking about selling your home in today's market, I want to talk to you about how exactly are tariffs? If you guys have not heard the word tariff, you must be in a cave 50 feet under the ground and have no access to any kind of media whatsoever. It's literally the one thing that's being talked about on all social media platforms, on all forms of communication, is the tariffs. And what tariffs am I talking about? What's a tariff?
Oh, it is the extra taxes that are going to be, or that are applied to anything that's made outside of the United States.
If it's made outside the United States, in general, there's going to be a tariff anywhere from 10, 20, 30. I don't know. I've heard stuff as high as 40%. Don't quote me on that, but it's definitely going to, and I even heard that President Trump was proposing a tariff on any type of entertainment like movies that are produced outside the U.S. because it's weird because it's like a lot of these films where the whole genre is about America and in America, and it's actually being filmed in like Canada and other places.
Because they have better tax incentives.
Yeah. So I think something like 70 to 80% of Netflix content is created outside the U.S.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know if your Netflix bill is going to go up, but I do know for sure.
Well, it's just proposed. It's not like it's just something he's talking about. It's not been put into the works at this point.
Well, what we do see that's happening factually is that Canadians, who are a big visitor to the United States, they're doing what's called the flyover. They're still going on vacations. But they're flying over the U.S. and going to places like Mexico. Speaking of someone that is going to help you fly over your estate planning situation, get a huge bird's eye view on it, and then go down to sea level and help you with some actual tactical steps to get that taken care of, who am I talking about?
That would be Amphay with the Estate Planning Group with his tip of the week.
Hey, Amphay.
Aloha. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Welcome. So, what's the latest with estate planning? Are any of the tariffs affecting your estate planning pricing?
No, not at all. That's funny because somebody asked me about merchandising, if we did any merchandising. I'm like, oh, yeah, we do have books that we sell. They're portfolio binders.
Yeah, the 3-ring binder that your trust comes in went up by 30%. No.
Right. No, we haven't, nothing much with tariffs. You know. But I did see something very interesting, though. Going through Congress right now, they're looking at removing the estate tax exemption, which is going to be very interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So,
and what does that mean? Yeah, translate that into layman's terms.
And you know, it's interesting because it doesn't apply to a majority of us. And you're talking about the 90% of individuals, modest income families, because basically, so right now for the federal side, it's about $13 million is the estate exemption, basically meaning if you have anything less than that, you don't have to pay estate tax federal, which is like about half. Anyhow, that's supposed to sunset in 2026 and be dropped to about $6 million. However, what's kind of been going through the grapevine was this, this thing about actually removing it altogether. Right.
Removing it altogether, but it's like you said, this is like you going to Robinhood and saying, all those rich people you taking stuff from, you shouldn't do that because it makes them feel sad. No, they're like, no, it's just like you said, it's most people listening to this show, except for a couple, handful of multimillionaires that are listening to the show are like, whatever, more taxes for highly wealthy individuals. If they remove it altogether, then, and then.
So what does that mean, Amphay, if they remove it altogether? Yeah. What would that look like?
Like who's really benefiting?
Yeah.
Right. And then, like here in the estate planning group, well, I'm going to speak for myself.
Yeah.
I always say it's our modest income families that have to look at doing their estate plans.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, families that own a home, not multiple, properties and real estate and, in the millions and millions and tens of 20 of millions, right? So, So, I mean, who's it really helping? Interesting
topic for conversation, but more like something that's going to appeal to 98% of our listeners is that, what I want to talk about is that there's an emotional benefit to the estate planning for the mental well-being of the family. And it's something that you always talk about, and it really struck home because for Adrienne and I, we get called into the mix because there's usually a piece of real estate that needs to be, like mom passed away, and then the siblings are trying to figure out what to do with the real estate. And I will tell you, it's always easier when there's an estate plan in place. And when there isn't, it's like World War III. So that's from the real estate standpoint, that's what I would say would be important for somebody to have a conversation with you about that.
And avoiding the probate also.
Yeah.
That could be costly.
Yeah.
You know, I would just share this with you, and it's I'm actually working with and helping a family right now, and you know, the child that lives with the parent that passed away calls me up and says, "I just want to live in my family home."
Yes.
The HOA association is not letting me know how much I owe and this and that, and you know, and it seems pretty easy enough, right? There's just siblings, simple probate. We should be able to move through this. And as I ask more questions, more things surface up, you know, and then now the family dynamics is different. Now something happened in the 90s that's going to affect, there's other stepchildren, this and that. And next thing you know, I'm looking at him and letting him know, you know, when this probate stuff is done, you're actually not even going to be a 50% owner of this property.
Yes.
It's going to be divided into all these different parts. And it's just, and to be able to, to share that information with him and just know that, I mean, he is going to lose his home.
Yeah.
That at the end of the day, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's so tragic, so unfortunate. Yeah.
Whereas if that parent had put together an estate plan and a trust, I think that's the key is that, you know, we don't think about things when, you know, who here is like, oh, I wonder, you know, like we don't put a lot of emotional value or ownership in what happens after we die. Right? We're only focused on what it's like when we're living.
Yep.
But I would appeal emotionally to the people out there that if you want what you have now emotionally in place to stay in place after you pass away, you got to give Amphay a call.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I think, what do you say? The estate planning is like communicating from the grave. And I want to communicate from the grave. I want to say, hey, I'm still alive. Let me out of this box. No. All right. So, Amphay, what would it, just leaving the listeners with this, it doesn't have to be this super complicated thing, but what's the first steps in estate planning with you? What does that look like?
It is setting an appointment with me.
Yeah.
I enjoy sharing. This is important, really, about what estate planning is for, at the very least, that. So that way, you know, you have you're educated.
Yeah.
Right? Now, what that entails, what does that look like? What are the considerations? And, you know, that's something, like I said, not only myself, but really, you know, our firm here in the estate planning group really, you know, push in terms of educating families first. Yeah. So that way they make these good decisions about what happens to, like, the legacy that they want to leave.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amphay.
Yes, thank you. Always a pleasure to hear from you and educating our listeners and reminding them the importance of estate planning.
Thank you, Amphay.
Aloha, Adrienne. Aloha, Attilio.
Aloha.
Have a great weekend, you guys.
Yep, you
Aloha.
too.
All right, so I know you're thinking, like, how can I book that appointment? Where's his contact information? Where do they go for that, Adrienne?
You just go to the experts we trust. It's on teamlally.com under the resource tab. You'll find them right there at the top. And on that page, you'll see Amphay and the estate planning group.
And so if you're listening every week, we have these experts that we trust on the radio show every week. So if you've ever heard or like, I had that guy, one guy from blah, 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 way back in the past show, and you wasn't too sure who they were, just go to teamlally.com resources tab and you go to the experts we trust, and they're all there. Speaking of another expert we trust, this is everything and everything regarding insurance. Who's that?
That'll be Bradley Maruyama with Allstate Insurance.
Hey,
with
Bradley.
His tip of the week.
Hey, Bradley.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
I heard the former trust attorney speaking, but whenever you put your house in a trust, I would always recommend you amend your policy so you can keep it in your personal name, but I would add the trust as an additional insured on the policy. Most trust attorneys will instruct you to do that, but if you haven't, call your agent, add the trust on as additional insured. It's just more of a formality, but in case something happens, at least it's there we already have the short form trust. So if there ever is a claim, it's handy and makes the process better.
Yeah, you know what? That's
but my
great information.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say is like, I'm glad we had you on the show right after him, because that's a critical component of
just making it easier.
They have the trust for the house, but the insurance is just as important. So naming it as an additional insured, another reminder of how our experts we trust are all interconnected and serve each other and our listeners. But go ahead. What you got for us this week? Yeah, what you got for us, Bradley?
All right. So, roofs have become an issue in our homeowners insurance industry recently. How new is the roof?
Yeah.
When was it last changed? Is there granular loss? And since then, a lot of people have been coating their asphalt shingle with Gacko, because now it looks like it's a new roof.
Yeah.
But we've been finding out, not just with Allstate, but we've been finding out that it actually can cause more damage than good by adding that Gacko. So
it's like a coating, right?
Recently,
like a
it's
coating.
A coating, yeah. Yep. So when in doubt, if your roof is 25, 30 years old,
yeah.
I understand there's warranties out there, but that doesn't mean your roof is going to last 25 or 30 years old.
Yeah.
But when it gets to that age, instead of just patching or sealing, it might be better at that 25-year time frame to just replace that roof.
Yeah. You think about it, that roof is on the top of your home. It's protecting, on Oahu, a single-family home, $1 million, that roof up there. So put a new one on there, too. Plus, I know the technology is always improving where they're refracting more and more heat and keeping utilities down, because you're not getting heat radiating from the roof because of the new technology they come up with. But,
and you probably will save on your insurance as well.
Yeah.
Right? When you upgrade that roof.
You know what the best insurance claim is? The one you don't have to put in.
The one you don't have to put in.
The one you don't have to put in.
All right.
Yep. So anyway, thank you so much for that tip from Bradley from Allstate Insurance.
Thank you, Bradley.
Thank you, Bradley.
Right. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of someone that protects your investments that you don't live in, the ones you don't live in.
That would be Duke Kimhan of Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Hey, Duke.
Weren't you guys just in Florida?
We were, but now here we are, back on Oahu.
Oh, goodness. You guys are teleporting all over the world.
Yeah, nice.
We were in your old stomping ground, Duke. Just checking things out. You're not missing anything over there.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys were in South Florida.
South Florida, yeah.
South, yeah.
I went into a barbershop. I always like getting haircuts in different places, Japan, Costa Rica, these different places. And it was interesting. Nobody spoke English.
In Miami. Yes, Miami. They speak Spanish first.
Correct.
Spanish.
But they didn't even speak English.
Yep.
It was like that when I was living in Florida. Went all the way up to Tampa. I mean, it was tough to find Spanish. In fact, English is the second language.
Yes.
At the airport, it said, "Bienvenidos, welcome to Miami."
That's right.
So what you got for us, Duke?
So tagging along with Bradley, because he's a good partner for us, is when owners interview us for property management, they're not asking the right questions.
Yeah.
Owners rarely, because they don't normally do that. This is not something that everybody gets to do.
Yes.
You don't grow up knowing that you're going to have to interview a property manager sometime in your career.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people ask, the only thing they care about is how much we charge.
Yeah.
But that's not the only thing a property manager does.
Yes.
I try to explain to people when they ask, the first question is how much.
Yes.
That is not the most important question. And you know what they say next? What is the most important question? Well, the most important question is, what do you get for your charge?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the most important question.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless how much things cost, because if one property manager charges 10% and the other one charges 7%, and the 7% person never goes and looks at your property and doesn't do any maintenance calls, they don't fix anything, what good is the 3% going to do?
Yeah. It's like, what are they doing for that 7%, really? You know, if they're not doing any of those basic things.
If they are a full-time sales agent and a part-time property management agent, doesn't matter what they're going to charge. You're going to get terrible service. And if they have a sale to do, that's the priority, you're going to be the non-priority phone call.
Well, there's you cannot be good at multiple. You can't be excellent at multiple things.
It's hard. It's hard. So I always try to coach owners to, one, take multiple applicants for property management. Interview at least 2 companies so you can see what the contrast is. The other problem is most people can't find 2 companies to call them back.
Well, that's part of the interview.
It's because they don't have a communication guarantee. That's why.
Well,
like we do. That's right.
I don't know how many times I'm answering the phone and people are like, I thought I was getting voicemail. I'm like, no, we answer our phone.
And so does Duke and his team.
What's funny is Ruben just went to go pick up keys today from another property manager who didn't answer their phone.
We're having problems with one of our listings. It's like pulling teeth to get the dang keys back.
And so, you know, that happens a lot in our industry.
So it's like,
and so I just want to make sure that your listeners know what the right question to ask is. What do you get for your property management fee? What does that include?
It's not what they're charging; it's what do you get.
Correct.
And I would say a lot of companies do charge about that 10%. But the big difference is, like what Duke said, is what do you get? They've got just countless 5-star reviews of very happy people because they're happy with all of the service that Hawaii Pacific provides.
Because we're in the office 6 days, 5 days a week, 6 days a week sometimes. We're here on Saturdays a lot of times. If you drive by, I see people's cars in my office. I'm like, what are you guys doing here? I go walk inside. They're all working. So I'm like, hey, that's a company that's here 6 days a week.
And I think because, problems happen with your rental properties, not Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. It's going to happen when it's going to happen.
They got to be ready, and they are.
And Tony,
so if you want to call up and ask what you get for your property management fee, give us a call. You can look us up at hipacificpm.com, or you can call us at 808-445-9223.
All right.
And somebody will answer the phone.
Somebody answer the phone.
Thank you, Duke.
Sure.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Thank you. All right.
Bye-bye.
Home of the answering the phone.
That's Duke Kimhan of Hawaii Pacific Property Management, and you can find him and a bunch of videos on the experts we trust, as well as on his website.
I want to run through real quick what you do get, and then we'll go into what you want to share here with our listeners. But what you do get for your property management with Hawaii Pacific Property Management, number one, and this is not a judgment call on agents who do both sales and property management. However, one of the keys to the success and levels of service that Duke and his team provide is nobody does sales. They are 100% focused on just doing property management. Number two, Duke has really created a culture to support their communication guarantee that people will answer their phone. And they have an eviction guarantee. So if they put somebody in based on their criteria and they have to evict that tenant for non-payment of rent, they will do it on their dime and time. And then there's also a rent guarantee. If they can't get this property rented in an agreed upon amount and or time, then they'll pay the rent. So those are some pretty strong guarantees. And it's the reason why they have hundreds and hundreds of 5 stars reviews. And if you want to get a hold of them, where do they go?
they can go to the Experts We Trust page on teamlally.com.
All right.
All right, we are going to take a break, but stay with us. When we come back, we'll be talking with Danny Langerman of DHA Financial.
Yeah.
He's going to share what makes his team's approach to lending different and how the Behind the Home Build podcast got started.
All right, so stay with us.
Decades 107.9 playing the greatest music ever made. It's Mornings with Augie. Hey, you know someone that moved to the mainland but left the rental property behind? So Amber wanted to create a new investment opportunities on the mainland, but she had to sell her island rental first. So she reached out to our good friends Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. Handling the business virtually with Amber, Adrienne and Attilio came prepared with multiple 5-star selling strategies, including adjusting Amber's selling price expectations, and the home sold in days. If you're in the market to sell your home and you want a team that will make you the most money with the least amount of drama, you can trust our good friends, Adrienne and Attilio of Team Lally. Give them a call today, 808-799-9596. That's 808-799-9596. They're trusted. You see these signs all over in my community. Visit teamlally.com today. That's teamlally.com today.
Hey, Sean Hannity here with the only real estate team in your market that I recommend. Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. You know, a lot of people may be thinking about selling their home, but they want to make sure they're getting the most money possible. What options do you have available to make selling a home easier?
Well, Sean, the biggest headache people have is not actually the selling of the home, but getting it ready for sale. The cleaning, the repairing, the decluttering. You know, 90% of painting a home is in the prep work, not in the actual painting, and it's not in the actual selling. Well, we got solutions.
That's right, Attilio. Here are the solutions. Our aspirin to the headache of prepping a home is our 10K for Upgrades program. That's where we do the project management of cleaning, repairing, and decluttering. That's how we make our sellers more money.
All right, thanks for keeping us up to date. Call Team Lally now at 799-9596 or online at teamlally.com. That's teamlally.com.
In today's fast-changing real estate market, you need access to the right information to make smart choices. I invest in real estate all over the country, and I rely on smart agents who know their local market inside and out. In Honolulu, I work with Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi. Adrienne, Attilio, and their team sell a home every 72 hours and have over 750 5-star reviews. Go to teamlally.com and find out in just seconds what your home is really worth.
Welcome back, and thanks for listening to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the guaranteed sold program, or we'll buy it. I'm Adrienne.
And I'm still Attilio.
And if you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Our guest today is a seasoned mortgage professional with over 20 years in the mortgage banking industry. As the founder and CEO of DHA Financial, he has helped hundreds of families secure over $50 million in home loans since 2001. His company is known for its streamlined, paperless process, expert guidance, and personalized service.
Licensed in 6 states, including Hawaii, he and his team provide tailored mortgage solutions for home buyers, builders, and refinancers. He's also the host of Behind the Home Build, a podcast where he shares valuable insights into the mortgage and home building industries. Please welcome Danny Langerman.
Hey, Danny.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the show. So, you know, a lot of, the housing is a big part of our economy. You know, I don't think it's part of the consumer price index, though. For like inflation, they don't take a look at that because it's just not considered a consumer thing. But I'm thinking, like, why not? Because it's such a huge part of everyone's expenses every month, right? The mortgage. So that's just my commentary on what's happening in the market today. But from you, Danny, was there anything specific or any kind of little nugget you wanted to share with our people?
You know, I for me, it's always been, housing is by far, I think the most important asset to have.
Yeah.
And I think it's the most consistent, one of the most
profitable, and obviously it puts roots down in where you're living, and it's a great way to grow your assets.
Yeah. Adrienne's got a question for you.
So Danny, what sets DHA Financial apart from the other lenders and banks out there?
Do tell.
Yes.
Okay, will do. I think the most important thing for us is we understand how important it is that when people are excited and they want to buy, I mean, the first thing they want to do is that they want to see what they can get approved for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so we make that process very simple. It's obviously for the most part it's the largest purchase that you'll ever make, and so we want to make the process simple as possible. And so for us, it's not here's an application, go ahead and fill in all 300 blanks.
Yeah.
It's the process of, hey, look, just send us your name, your email, and your phone number, and then we'll request documents, easy documents like your pay stubs, W-2s, and bank statements, and then we can actually, just from those documents, we can actually kind of figure out different programs that the borrower can get qualified for, and then let the borrower choose.
Yeah, I think too that my direct experience with you and other lenders has been, and just people in general, is the responsiveness. Adrienne, what would be your commentary on the responsiveness of Danny in our direct experience and our teams?
Well, I would say he's super responsive.
Yeah.
I would think that maybe Danny and DHA Financial has a communication guarantee, just like Duke and his team.
Yeah.
We just, very responsive.
I guarantee there's people listening right now like, I have a hard time getting a hold of fill in the blank. Mm-hmm. And when your interaction with somebody is like that, you're like, I don't feel confident in what service or product they're providing me because it's hard to get a hold of them. Danny, why is responsiveness important to you?
Well, it's important to me because it kind of sets the tone for the entire transaction, right?
Yeah.
So, if we have a client that calls us, whether it's on a Saturday, on a Sunday, or whenever, if the quicker I can get back to them, then the more they're going to feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's important.
Yeah, especially if you're buying real estate.
I think it's like building trust.
Well, the communication and the responsiveness of your lender are critical to, it could cause you to get that property and it could cause you to not get it. Mm-hmm. Right? Because the seller's like, I want to see a pre-approval with your offer. Oh, okay. Well, I'll get it to you next week. Okay. House is in escrow. So, and I think that's what you realize. And our direct experience, we're not just saying this, is that Danny and their team has been super responsive to the whole situation. There was something else I was going to ask you, but I forgot. Adrienne, you have a question?
I wanted to ask, what kind of programs are coming out that are new that maybe like a first-time home buyer, even the seasoned home buyer would be excited about? So is there any new loan products that we should know?
So, I mean, there's always the good first-time home buyers out there. A lot of Annie and Freddie will, they have first-time home buyer products to where they actually have a little bit better rate than if you're not a first-time buyer. And so those are always, obviously great products. The VA loans, in my opinion, are the best products. So if there's any veterans out there, take advantage of your VA eligibility, because it's one thing that, head and shoulders above everything else is that VA loan.
All right. Tell us about this Home Build podcast. Well, first of all, what's this podcast about? The Home Build podcast.
And how did it get started?
So it got started. So we have 3 boys, and our oldest son graduated from college. And he doesn't like to take any of the credit for it, but he was like, we should start a podcast. And I was like, well, wait a second here. What is a podcast? So I did some research, and we started talking about it. And we said, okay, well, let's do something to where it's going to be beneficial to the community. And so we're members of the Home Builders Association, and we decided to tailor it around the the Home Builders Association to incorporate everything from home buying to home building and everything in between. So if it touches anything to do with homes, we'll bring that person on the podcast and talk to them, and they can explain kind of what their profession is within that industry. And we get everyone from obviously the builders to the renovators to insurance companies to employment companies within the home building industry. And it's number one, it's a great way that we can give back to the community, and we can kind of show, because we don't mention our name, the company DHA is not mentioned on there. It strictly has to do with the guests that we have on there. And number one, it's a great community thing for us. But number two, it allows me some time that I actually get to spend with my son, which is a lot of fun.
I love that. Now we'll make sure to include a link to the podcast, because what we'll do is we go ahead and we syndicate this out to multiple platforms: Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. So we'll make sure that there's a link back, that if any of our followers or listeners want to have a listen to this home build podcast, and it'll be easily accessible.
Well, I looked it up real quick, like what's the origin of the word podcast. And, whenever anything comes into common use, or, like everybody knows about it and uses it, it's always blurry, like how did it start? Because nobody's like, oh yeah, right here on this date and this time, so-and-so mentioned, and then you have multiple people taking credit for it. But in general, do you guys know what the word podcast comes from?
No.
So Apple had that portable music device. What was it called?
The iPod. And then when you want to listen to something like on a radio, or TV, is it called a broadcast? Yes.
So take the word pod and the word cast.
Oh.
Podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's the origin story.
Yeah, because before, it wasn't live streaming or automatic or real time. You literally had to download it. You downloaded it to your iPod and then listened to it later.
That was a long time ago.
That was 2004 podcast.
So Danny, on this home build podcast, I think you're going to have to get into the Hawaii home building processes, because we have some interesting things, right, with here in Hawaii with our permits.
Danny, congratulations. You're on a Hawaii podcast. It's called the Team Lally Real Estate Radio Show, which is uploaded every week. All you got to do is go to your iTunes Purple app and go look up Team Lally, subscribe, and you're going to get the radio show every week on your podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. That sounds, we definitely, we'll have you guys as a guest for sure.
Awesome.
We'll look forward to that.
What do you see as the number one challenge that borrowers are having right now?
Right now, I would say definitely it's the interest rates.
Yeah.
With the tariffs that are right now, and I think it's not so much the tariffs, but the fear of what's going to happen with the tariffs. Yeah. And where it's going to go. But my suggestion would be, look, the indications and stuff that in time and stuff, that interest rates are going to go down. So,
sure.
I would not wait to buy a house if you're on the fence. A great time to buy would be right now, and as rates do start to drop, it's always easier to read. So,
would you say that they should marry the home but date the interest rate?
100%.
Okay.
So Danny, with the strategies of finance, right? If you know that sometime in the next, 3 to 5 years, that rate is going to go down. Does it make sense to get into a 30-year mortgage, or is there other products that could get your payment low in anticipation of waiting to do like the refinance into a lower rate later?
Yeah, there's definitely products. You've got, what's called the 2-1 buy down, which you're in actually, or any buy down for that matter. It can start lower than what the note rate would be. The 30-year fix is still a great loan right now, because again, the indication that the interest rates are going to go lower with the 30-year fixed, and it's an easier way to go ahead and refinance if rates are in the high 6s right now, to refinance 5 or a 4 and just keep riding that wave down. And if you have a 30-year fix, it just it'll help you in the long run for sure.
Gotcha.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for Danny Attilio?
No, you're like elbowing me, and I'm like, no, I don't have any questions. But, the most important question is if you are out there and you're looking to purchase a home here in Hawaii and you want a highly responsive lender, my question is who should they call, Adrienne?
Give Danny and his team a call at DHA Financial.
Yeah, and if you want to get a hold of them, you just go to Team Lally resource page under our Experts We Trust.
And there's a link right there to get a hold. And I would say that Danny and his team will respond very quickly. Yeah. And that has been our experience.
Yes. All right. Danny, was there any last things, any last nuggets, any dad jokes, anything that you wanted to share with our listeners before we let you go?
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to come on. I'm definitely excited to get some work done there in Hawaii.
Awesome.
I have one more thing I want to share with our listeners, and this was kind of an unusual thing that we found out by accident, was that so that Danny, myself, and Attilio, and Danny's wife all are PSI LS grads. So we've all gone through the leadership training.
The work.
Yes, we've all done the work, and I think that's part of the mindset, right?
Yeah.
And the connection.
Well, it's critical because it's how we behave in certain circumstances, how we serve people, our attitudes when things go sideways, and how we stay in it and stay in the relationships and the conversations. It's important. So, anyway.
Agreed, 100%.
All right. Thanks, Danny.
Thank you, Danny.
Yep, thanks.
All right.
Okay, aloha.
Aloha. So if you want to get a hold of Danny and his crew, all you got to do is go to teamlally.com, go to our resources tab, and look up DHA
Financial.
And give them a call.
All right, so we have a deal of the week coming up in Wahiawa.
Yeah, so this is coming soon in Wahiawa. The affordable 2-bedroom, 1-bath condo offers comfortable island living with 660 square feet of practical and efficient living space. By the way, this is in Whitmore Village. It's one of 2 or 3 condo townhomes in that area. 664 square feet of living space, just the right size for easy upkeep.
Conveniently located near Halamano Elementary School.
Close to Kahikani Park and Whitmore Community Park, perfect for outdoor activities.
And just 15 minutes away from the world-famous North Shore.
Currently tenant occupied, but it actually is going to be vacant here in another couple of days.
Yay.
Hours.
Yes.
So it'll be easy to see and show. Whether you're looking for a first-time home investment in a growing area, this Wahiawa condo is full of promise. I think it's a great starter home for a first-time buyer.
Speaking of another great starter home for first-time home buyer, we have one in Eva Beach.
Palm Villas.
Yes, Palm Villas, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, ready to move in. Just did a big reduction, $370,000.
$370,000,
yes.
And I think the maintenance fees are about
something. It's like
$450, $460, right around there. So it's not some crazy maintenance fee.
Very, very affordable.
Yeah.
Now this is the lowest price 1 bedroom in all of the Eva Plain. I did the research. No, I looked. I looked it up.
Okay.
There is no other 1 bedroom that is lower priced than this. That's available.
Yes. Show.
It is a wonderful price. Move in ready.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go quick with this price adjustment down to $370.
Give us a call, 799-9596, 799-9596. We can get you into that thing like right now. You want to go see it? Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, so I want to also share a success story that happened in Eva Beach. This is Ocean Point, Eva Beach.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so the average home in this area in Ocean Point sits on the market for over 60 days. We got this one into escrow in just 16 days. And not only that, we secured a full list price offer for our sellers. You want to share the next?
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay, so what's even more impressive?
I was like so intently listening. I was not prepared to read.
Okay, what's even more impressive, our sellers were living all the way in Texas. We handled everything locally, coordinated with the property manager, tenants, oversaw repairs, new flooring, fresh paint, staging, and even a brand new AC install. All of it done before the first showing.
Cool.
It's proof that strategy matters in today's market. In fact, we've had other agents reach out asking us, how did we pull that off? All right, so if you're wondering what it takes to sell successfully in this market, even from out of state, just give us a call. We've got the plan that works.
Speaking of out of state, we got a featured listing at 911040 Kai Honu Street. Today, we're featuring a standout property in beautiful Eva Beach, located, I already told you the address. This is a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, single-family home, offers the best of island living with
modern upgrades and eco-friendly features, including 37 solar panels on net metering, keeping electric bills around $30 per month.
Whoa.
And it comes with a VA assumable loan with a gap of less than $80,000.
Hey, folks, if you're looking for low electric bill, low interest rate on an assumable VA loan with an $80K gap,
and has a 3-car garage.
And a 3-car garage for all you people. You know, in Hawaii.
Well, especially in Ocean Point.
Yeah, Ocean Point.
Parking is like...
It's like an MMA fight out there for parking.
So you got the extra garage space, so you don't have to fight with your neighbors.
Loft area, ideal for home office, gym, or playroom. A lush private backyard with extra lanai space, perfect for gatherings. Professional landscape yard, stunning curb appeal, minutes from pristine beaches, parks, and shopping centers.
This home is smart, stylish, and sustainable. A perfect fit for modern island life. Don't miss your chance to tour this property. Just reach out to our team today, and you will see how paradise can become your reality in Eva Beach.
Hey, if you're tired of being beat out there, just give us a call. We have anywhere from 20 to 30 properties that are in some stage of preparation that we can give you access to. All you got to do is give us a call, 799-95.
In fact, right after this show, we're driving out to Makaha to go take a look at this little cute home. It's going to be priced very well in the 400s.
In the 400s.
Yeah.
Well, it's Waianae, so it's 400.
Yeah. So we're going to be going to check that one out. That'll be coming onto the market here shortly. The owners are doing some final touches.
Yep.
But if you're looking to get into, a nice little starter home and a great price, and it's a nice neighborhood too.
Single family home.
I think it's like 1,200 square feet. So it's a good size home. So just give us a call, 799-9596.
All right. Are we wrapping it up?
You got about a minute left.
By the way, real quick, we got an $80K guarantee. Join our team. If you don't make $80K in your first year as a real estate agent, even if you're brand new with no experience, we'll write you a check for the difference. We have the formula to create successful agents, and we've been doing it year after year for the last 20 years. We know what it takes to be successful. We provide the environment, coaching, training, and leads that it's guaranteed, or we'll write you a check. I don't know what else more you could want to motivate you to go to jointeamlally.com.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, and thank you to our sponsors.
Jody and Derek of Pacific Rim Mortgage.
Bradley of Allstate Insurance.
Kenji with Pillar to Post Home Inspections.
John with Kilauea Pest Control.
Duke with Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Robinson of Fine Line Paintworks.
Amphay with Estate Planning Group.
Jason Wu, Attorney at Law.
Rhino with Hawaii Unified.
Janice of Dreamhouse Drafting.
Fabio with Hawaii Water Damage Restoration.
Kyle with Impact Wealth Solutions.
Brian with Cleanscape LLC.
Benji with Hawaii Referral Agent, and also Danny with DHA Financial.
If you want to get a hold of any of our sponsors, just go to teamlally.com.
We also want to give a big thank you to Leah Rodriguez, our producer here in the studio.
And Sheen Balar, our video producer. Chee-hoo.
Make sure to tune in next week. We'll have an awesome guest talking about something that'll change your life
forever. This is the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the guaranteed
sold program. If we can't sell your home at the agreed upon price and or time frame, we'll have it bought for cash.
Thanks and aloha.